What are you supposed to bring to a meeting? You want to do a big tank? Show them what you're gonna work with, all right? Let's do it. Criminal thoughts is the Newport. My destiny is to be the Newport.
My name is Dustin Wunderlich. From this room, I will change the world. If I could have any job in the world, what would it be? I have the perfect job for me. My goal is to help people through my service. I strive to be the best in the world at what I enjoy doing. Stop right there. Rewind the tape. Let's get in the time machine and go back into 1993 and ask this young, beautiful, bowl-cutted boy what he thinks about the fact that by the time he turns 38 years old, he's going to have set up a 900-gallon aquarium at a public aquarium. What's up, fish tank people? Dustin's Fish Tanks bringing it to you, talking about the biggest, and in my opinion, the best aquarium that I've ever done. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 900-gallon aquarium, the first of 5 that I'm setting up at the Newport Aquarium. We're going to talk about the plan, we're going to talk about the substrate, we're going to talk about the hardscape, we're going to talk about the lighting. If you like this kind of video, hit the subscribe button and you'll get more videos like this. So the Newport Aquarium hits me up to talk about redoing their Mekong River tank, the first of 5 aquariums that I'm going to do with those fine folks up there. Naturally, they hit me up when I'm in the middle of the biggest project of my life. Regardless, when opportunity comes, you have to be ready. It's better to be ready for an opportunity that doesn't come than to have an opportunity come and not be ready. I'm ready for this, and we're going to talk about the plan. Folks, I've done a 5-gallon, I've done a 10-gallon, I've done a 15-gallon, I've done a 20-gallon, I've done a 30-gallon, I've done a 40-gallon, I've done a 55, I've done a 75, and recently I'm just going to say I slayed 125-gallon for a customer. But folks, your boy D has never done a 900-gallon aquarium. I like quotes, and here's a good one. For every hour you spend planning, you save 4 hours. Here is the approach that I'm taking to the 900-gallon aquarium. This is the plan. The plan is to do what I do best, okay? I stay in my lane. I don't keep cichlids, I don't do salt. Heck, I hardly keep any fish these days, all right? I'm getting paid to do what I do and what I do best. First things first, let's talk about the substrate. The simple goal with this tank is to make a massive, lush aquarium that requires minimal maintenance. Rumor has it plants absorb 400 to 400 times more nutrients through their roots than through their stems and leaves. You all know where this is going. We're going to talk about substrate, but I want to unpack something here as a lesson with how this tank was before I got my dirty D hands on it. This is a place where I am not maintaining this tank, okay? It's also not easy to get in and out of. I want to show you this tank before I got my hands on it so we can learn a lesson of what we're not going to do when I set it up. This is a tank full of CRYPTOCORYNE. This is also the Rio Negro tank. You can look at both of these aquariums and you can tell that there is no nutrients going on at the substrate, and if there is, it's very minimal. I happen to know CRYPTOCORYNE extremely well. While it is a heavy root feeder, it can grow in basically anything. It's one of the hardiest crypts around. We also sell it, okay? The CRYPTOCORYNE can basically grow without nutrients. But this is a discussion. But Dustin, I don't want to put dirt in my tank. It'll make a mess. Look, putting dirt in the bottom of a 900-gallon aquarium certainly is something that needs to be discussed, particularly because I'm going to try to set it and forget it. So we had a dialogue about how the plant growth would be better and exponentially better with the dirt in the bottom of this aquarium. Keep in mind, I'm not the one maintaining it, so it did have to be discussed of what to do and what not to do once dirt is under the substrate. After all, getting in and out of this aquarium to clean it should something go wrong could be just a little bit more difficult than your average 5 or 10 gallon aquarium. So there was a discussion between myself and the Newport about dirting it prior.
Yeah, this actually helps me because this is the rim, right?
Yep.
So what I wanted to do was build this up right here So like when you walk up, that's where your eye is greeted with the gravel. So this is actually beneficial. We're gonna need a lot of gravel to get up to that height. Yep. When in doubt, get more pea gravel and then we'll decorate on top. Because we're gonna have so much plant mass in here.
There's also more reason to use dirt here, which actually correlates back to lighting. We're lighting 48 inches deep. This is deep, and for every unit of measure you go away from a light source, you exponentially lose light. You can get away with slightly less lighting as long as your plants are well fed. So I'm banking on the fact that the plants in this aquarium are not going to be able to get as much light down to them because they're not getting as much light down to the bottoms where they eat at their roots. I'm going to make sure they have a smorgasbord of food readily available for them down there. And as we transition to light, we want to talk about lighting that can reach all the way down deep. And there's only one option for a tank this deep for me, and that is a Reef Bright metal halide. Why do you think that street lights for so many years were metal halides? It's because a metal halide's light travels the furthest. It penetrates the deepest, but it's not just the fact that it can penetrate the deepest. Its actual spectral composition, if you will, what kind of light it's giving off, is best for the type of plants we're trying to put in here. I get real technical with lighting in my webinars. There'll be a link in the bottom of this. You can sign up to join one of those, 100% free, but it's outside the scope of this video. Now, with this, we're going to use 3 400-watt metal halides. Now that might sound like a lot of watts to you if you want to use the old watts per gallon. That's 1200 watts over 900 gallons. It's actually not that much lighting. Not to mention this lighting has to get all the way down to the bottom of the 900, okay? This is not lighting your average 55-gallon aquarium. So riddle me this, folks. Drop me a comment on what you think. If you had the opportunity to do a 900-gallon aquarium, what kind of lighting would you use and why? Please leave me a note in the comments.
We've talked about substrate, we've talked about lighting, and now we're quickly going to talk about filtration. Now we're gonna move on from the mechanics of this aquarium to the fun part, to the design part. We're going to talk about the hardscape.
Originally I was gonna do it like one way and have this be off, but I think I'm gonna kind of canyon this and do a side here and a side here, and then the big tree in the middle, and I can use that funky driftwood that I brought with me kind of down in here and kind of play. But this is actually going to be pretty, once I get this all built up, I'm trying to go this high.
The filtration on this 900-gallon aquarium is of minimal concern for me. This system, along with probably 20 other aquariums about the same size, are all equipped with massive filtration. These folks are in the water business. They boast the tagline, "1 million gallons of fun." And I'm not the least concerned about the filtration of these aquariums. But the same husbandry that they use at the Newport Aquarium can be applied to your own aquarium. Here's the lesson that I learned from Jeff. Jeff has a rule. He says, you want the water to turn over 4 times the volume of the tank per hour. This is a 900-gallon aquarium, so you all can do the math. 9 times 4, we're gonna turn the volume of water over in this aquarium 3,600 gallons in 1 hour. Note, they are using a sand filter here as well, which I'm not used to using, but should remove most of the debris from this aquarium. I also would like to point out that on the filtration of this aquarium, it has an entire biochamber that I believe is over a decade old. Plenty of biological bacteria. And finally, look at these pipes, look at these valves, look around this place, okay? I am not the least concerned about maintenance, husbandry, or just how they get water in and out of it. This is what these folks do. They have all of these systems equipped for the easiest maintenance possible. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's talk about design. I'm fortunate enough to have been asked to do this tank because apparently they like my style. I always consider myself more of a mouth than an aquascaper, but apparently my creative flow has been on point enough that it caught their eye. So why not give it to them? Here's what I'm thinking with this tank. In the words of the sensei, Mr. Oliver Knott, he says, big tank needs big rocks. It's time to go rock shopping. They're in Cincinnati, I'm in Lexington. And while I could have just said, hey, go pick out a bunch of rocks, the problem is that if I am designing this aquarium, I need to pick out the rocks myself. Going to a rock yard with professionals to fill up a 900-gallon aquarium on somebody else's dime was like Christmas for me. Coincidentally, this was done right around Christmas. The issue, however, we have with aquascaping a 900-gallon, a 4-foot tall aquarium is that of scale. You see, You can't go putting a bunch of small rocks into a 900-gallon aquarium. A foot in diameter rock might seem large in your 75, but a perspective and a scale thing in a 900, it's merely a mid-ground, foreground rock, okay? Big tank needs big rocks. The problem is that rocks that fit the design I want are also rocks that I'm gonna have to manhandle down into this aquarium. Not to mention, I have to take some of the big rocks that don't look too great and break them up with a sledgehammer to make them work appropriately in the mid and foreground.
Time to do this. Oh, these are awesome rocks, dude. It's time to tear up a 900-gallon aquarium, folks. So, biggest tank I've ever done, coming at you.